Gonzaga and what they've played in the West Coast Conference. So the way they're beating them, and damn, Illinois is a tournament team, and they beat them on a neutral by 43. On the other side, the back end of it, Houston, who their defense is still really good, but not quite as good, maybe because they don't depend on it as so much. Their metrics offensively are better. They're top 10 offensive efficiency. And so, wow, they're better on offense now to match their defense. Oh, look out. Kelvin Sampson's finally got enough offense to match it. And so they're one of only 4 teams that meet the metrics: top 25 offensive efficiency, top 25 defensive efficiency, and a Final Four and a coach that has Sweet 16 experience. They're only one of 3 teams. Florida does not fit. They fit the other ones. They don't have a coach with any tournament wins, much less Sweet 16 experience. And then my eyeballs tell me, huh? I see them go through their same scoring droughts. I see them throw some pitiful offensive sets. And then they tell me at the end they're a 40% three-point shooting team. And I'm like, how? How? I just don't get it. Now, granted, Kansas still has talent. Kansas was preseason number 1 for a reason. And Kansas played them toe-to-toe in both games. Kansas should have won the one at Fog Allen. They should have lost close in this one. It should have been a split. And Kansas still shows that they could be, if they're a 2 and they're a 7 in my bracket, I'm not happy. I'm not happy. Lenardi said they have a big enough cushion between the projected 8s and 9s. Probably their floor is a 7. I don't know if they can play their way up to a 5 or 6. At this point. But for a doubleheader, when we saw 2 projected number 1 seeds, 2 teams that fit the criteria, fit the metrics, fit the historical perspective, I see one team that can and one team that can't. Guys?
Well, I agree with you on the Duke idea. I know we're kind of in disagreement with you, Jimmy, on who the best team in the country is or who has the most likely chance to national title. And I will say, I think Duke is the best team, but I think you make a great argument as to why Auburn's got the best chance to win the title, is that they're more tested. They've played in the SEC longer. I think that doesn't make you the best team just because you're more likely to win the title. I think Duke is less tested, but they are the best team. And I think we saw a little bit of that last night. I mean,
are they the best team or the most talented team? There's total difference.
I think they're the best team as well, Henry. I don't know about you, but
I like to look at it. By the way, I'm just here for the tamales. Let's just get it straight.
Yes.
I like to look at it. Come tournament time, 2 things: who's got the most pros and who has the best guard play. Those are my 2. I like veteran guards and I like future NBA players. And under that rubric, I think Duke has more future NBA talent on that roster. Now, Flag's not a guard, but your 19-4 argument, Jimmy, is a pretty darn good one. 19 quad 1 wins to 4.
No. 16-2 and 6-3.
Okay, so
against quad 1 competition. That ain't close. The other thing that's not close is the average age. And if you pay attention to college basketball, age wins.
100%.
Okay. The other thing on the bench, Shire doing a nice job, right? They share the ball. It's easy when your best player is willing to.
Yeah.
He enjoys passing just as much as he does scoring. Okay. But they got a lot more experience on that bench at Auburn than they do at Duke.
But to your point,
but I think Duke's got more NBA players. Absolutely, Duke's got more NBA players.
And it's something you said a minute ago. They are a little nasty. Like they want. So that hasn't been Coach K when he was in the back half. Look, they got their butts kicked in his last game at Cameron against who? North Carolina. I mean, it just that team got a little soft as he kind of exited. And frankly, last year wasn't. They were good. This team's different. This team's got a little saltiness to them. They want to cut your throat and step on it.
And they should have because they lost their guy. Filipowski's is a load that they lost.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So you would think that their physical presence, it's just So
while you're looking that up, not good news for Cooper Fly, current Duke. Not good news for an ex Duke Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
We're going to get to that in a little bit. But the thing is, this team is 15-1 in the SEC. These arenas have never been more live. This is the strongest season in the history of the sport when you come to conference RPI and their rating.
I mean,
Duke's winning by a lot, but what do you value more? Beating really good teams or beating mediocre teams really badly or poor teams?
When you have a league, Jimmy, where John Calipari is on his hands and knees begging to get a win at Arkansas, and they're what, bottom third of the league?
Got a top 5 player budget.
Right. I'm saying when he's scraping to get a W.
Yes.
Mississippi's like all these teams Georgia's better. You got to deal with Vandy and Mizzou. They're like, yeah, it's never had this tall cotton in this league.
No, and that's not an opinion. That's the metrics, and and everybody has followed through with it as well. We're talking about when these two conferences played, 8 at their place, 8 at the SEC. It's 14-2.
Yeah.
Jimmy, regardless of whether you think Duke or Auburn are better, I think we can agree they're on the same tier.
Duke can beat Auburn. Don't get me wrong. Yeah.
But they're on a tier. Houston is probably closer to that next tier. I don't think they're as close to Duke and Auburn as they are to Florida, Tennessee,
that's
Alabama.
My point. I watched the game and I saw a team that can win it in Duke and a team that can't. And I'm sorry that there's no way that team could go through 6 games with that offense. And I don't care what the metrics tell me. I've watched them 20 times this year. They rely on Cryer, and Cryer going to wear him down. I mean, the kid from Vegas who hit the threes in the win at Lubbock. Okay, they just won 2 games that Iowa State was at minus 31 points and Texas Tech was minus 30 points. I mean, they call it just. I love what Sampson has done. I love what he's done. They're in the mix every year, and they're going to make a run to the Final Four again. They're going to be a number 1 seed, and they're hell to deal with. But I am sorry.
I talked to my brother who lives in Houston. He said they believe this is the best team they've actually had at Houston, which is a little different to the eyeballs. They certainly think the offensive metrics do prove that they're better this year than they have in the past. But I will say, I actually think Florida has a better chance than Houston does, just because I think they're more balanced. Jimmy, I know you'd be a little critical of their defense. At times they play in some high-scoring games, but I think their defense overall is more trustworthy than Houston's offense.
Who said? I'm telling you, I don't. This was we're talking about. We hadn't talked about Florida. I talked about Duke and Houston. I like Florida's chances way better than Houston. Pay attention, Match. It's all right. I mean, I just know. I mean, this. I'm down on Houston to make a Florida. Florida's already proven who's the best team. Who's the best team in my book, the country? Who's got the best resume? That's not up for debate. It's Auburn. And who went in there to their place and that place, and they're hungry because they suck at football right now. That's the thing their fans can cheer at, and they smoked them, and they can. And they can play them like I like Florida's roster better. They have way more capable scorers. They're just way more fluent on offense.
Speaking of Houston, what a great hire, Kelvin Sampson.
Oh,
that's a grand slam because look, post fight slamma jamma, it was kind of quiet out of Houston.
Oh no, it was dead.
I mean,
it was dead. And then you get a little help from Fertitta, okay? And so they come out. Look at their recruiting class for next year. And they went toe-to-toe in the last minute with LSU on the kid from Newman that transferred out. Where is he now? Is he back in Texas?
Yes. But
the payroll ran out?
Have you been to Houston, either of you, university?
I have. It's
not a bunch to look at.
No. It's it's one of the reasons Southwest Conference, when they went to the Big 12, they left them out.
Yeah.
It's not Austin. It's not College Station, or wait. I mean, it's just
smack
it's not
dab in the middle of Houston.
Yes, I mean it's a commuter. It's UNO.
That's right.
It's UNO of Houston. No offense, but
and can ball.
Yes. So they're gonna. I mean, he's a great coach. He's a Hall of Fame coach. Indiana probably should have kept him.
I think.
Yeah.
Chris Senac, the center recruit you were talking about, currently in Missouri at the Link Academy, but yes, from New Orleans.
And they got like a couple more top 50 players. I mean, in their recruiting class.
And even what helps Sampson Did you see senior night? Did you see the emotion? I mean,
No,
he's
he
one of
can't.
those
Yeah,
coaches
yeah,
that he is
yeah.
going to be talking to these guys well past, their tenure at Houston.
I don't have a ton of confidence in the handing of the baton to his son, though. I'm not crazy about his, it could be, I could be reading too much into body language, but I'm not, I'm not so sure about that. In the same sense, Tennessee is going to be a number 1 seed right now. I'm not crazy. I think Alabama's got more if they ever decide to play. And listen, we talked about this 7-game stretch in the season with Alabama. It is brutal. We got a great card on this Tuesday night. We got some picks. We're going to handicap it as well. We come back, though. I got to lean on Henry Hayes in this NBA because it's that time of the year. What in the regular season is going to translate, and it couldn't have happened to a better team. I'm sorry. You get what you get. Karma. Dallas Mavericks. Raise the prices. Bam. Live at lunch. Live at Doze. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Got a break?
Live at lunch.
Have you been arrested or even issued a traffic ticket?
Yeah, Jordan.
Everyone makes mistakes. Hi, I'm Dana Brown from the law offices of O.C. Brown. If you find yourself in an unfortunate
Jordan.
situation with the law, call us today, and we can help you resolve your problem, whether it's just a traffic matter or something more serious. No criminal matter is too big or too small for us to aggressively and effectively represent you. Before making any decisions, call us at 225-343-1111 for your free consultation. You can also visit us at ocbrown.com. The law offices of O.C. Brown, your law firm for a lifetime.
Looking for the perfect ride for your next getaway? Rent a car for the week at All-Star Toyota and only pay for 6 days. That's right. Get 7 days of adventure for the price of just 6. Whether you're heading out on a road trip, need a vehicle for the week, or just want something new to drive, we have got you covered. At All-Star Toyota, we offer a wide selection of Toyota vehicles ready to hit the road when you are. Conveniently located at Airline at Goodwood in Baton Rouge. Visit us today or check out our website at allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com for more details. All-Star Toyota. People you know, cars you trust.
The new location of Los Reyes Mexican Grill on Wesley across from Mike Anderson's. Man, the place looks great. Lots of indoor and outdoor seating options with plenty of big TVs to watch all your favorite games. All of the traditional Mexican cuisine with a great happy hour, 2:30 to 6:30, 7 days a week. Plus, $5 margaritas all day, all night on Wednesdays. Great spot to bring the baseball team in between games. Just 5 minutes north of Traction and 5 minutes south of LSU. Los Reyes Mexican Grill, 1072 West Lee, near Nicholson.
Are you ready to buy land but just not sure where to start? Then you need to call me, Tommy Marsh, at First South Farm Credit in Thibodaux. At First South, we specialize in financing rural land and offer terms up to 30 years. Even if you're buying property out of state, we have a loan program that's right for you. So when you're ready to become a landowner, make First South your first call. Find us online at firstsouthland.com.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Ruffino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Ruffino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit ruffinosrestaurant.com. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
As football winds down, college basketball is gearing up. Fans are ready to see which teams will prove they are ready to shine in March and who will be seen in San Antonio. You can get on all the action from tip-off to the final whistle at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Right now, new ESPN Bet Sportsbook customers can bet $10 to get $100 in bonus bets and unlock 30 days of ESPN+. Download the app and sign up with the promo code RADIO100 to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700 in partnership with LeVares Lake Charles. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Recall alert? Due for an oil change? Brakes louder than the kids in the back? Bayou Ford can get you in for service today. You don't have to wait. Same-day service. Schedule now at BayouFord.com. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Are you ready for some football? Join us this spring in reading the 2025 One Book, One Community selection, Season of Life by Jeffrey Marks. The 19th annual One Book, One Community initiative will highlight Marks' book and other sports-related programs for all ages. It will begin with a free tailgate kickoff for the whole family at the main library at Goodwood on Friday, March 14th from 5 to 8 p.m. Live entertainment, free food, children's activities, community organizations, and more. For more information, visit ebrpl.com. demcostore.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Construction, welding, maintenance, and fabrication. Action Industries does it all. Proud partner of LSU Athletics.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Doe's Eat Place on Government Street on 1045 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All right, Henry with us today. Henry, let's talk some NBA quickly before we next segment we go to Andy Isco. But I mean, Cleveland Cavaliers, is this another Atlanta Hawks? Where they're going to be a number one seed and not going to be able to do too much, maybe one series or something like that? Because, I mean, that's a pretty impressive comeback where they fell behind against Boston. You know, was that last week? I mean,
got that home win, road win.
I mean, they and I guess they're like Duke. I mean, they beat bad teams. They beat them to shreds, bro. I mean, they win a lot of games by 30, 40 points.
Well, you got the bigs up front that make them very difficult to play against defensively. And they've done that. You got to give them credit, boy. You talk about hitting in the draft with the right free agent signings, Jimmy. They've done that. My question with Cleveland is they play so hard during the regular season, and your veteran teams know, look, it's 82 games. Your body cannot withstand that kind of pace. And so when you get into a 7-game series where coaching really ratchets up, you run less, there's a lot more defensive half-court sets. Does that level out? And the answer is almost always yes. So now that's a little different with this Cleveland group with respect to who's running the show, because he is got ice in his veins.
He's a lock for Coach of the Year.
Yeah, but I'm talking about ball in his hand.
Okay.
Yeah, so, but boy, we've seen it before where they play just so hard. So I would fade them personally.
Yeah. Lack of playoff experience comes to light because we talk about it all the time ad nauseum, that it's no bigger difference from the regular season to the postseason than the NBA and the playoffs. And it's and I guess just all I got to look at is 3 games for the Celtics, because Celtics and Knicks have been the same the whole year. Actually, the Knicks have been a half game better, minus those 3 games they played, and they have spanked them in those 3 games.
And speaking of the Knicks,
don't you think they've kind of come and
yeah,
they started with opening night?
Yeah, Donovan Mitchell's been the difference. New York wanted him badly, and we see now what he's doing in Cleveland. He is the guy, can get his own shot, undersized, but that game he had in Boston was legit.
Yeah.
So. But again, you got to give him credit. They're big up front, man. Mobley is better than almost all of us thought he would be in the league.
Well, he was highly thought of now,
yeah,
Henry.
but he was young, and he was raw.
Okay, but you're just saying maybe he was highly thought of, and he had touch for the range. He's got length. He could defend. He's going to be one of the. He may get Defensive Player of the Year. Then Wembanyama is out for the season.
The motor was the thing, Jimmy.
Yes. Does he care?
And does he invest the time? And he has done that.
Is Mitchell that kind of leader to get some of that out of his teammates?
100%.
Okay, because he sure looks like he plays hard.
I think he's in the right spot at Cleveland, chip on our shoulder. Nobody believes in us. So
but how much are they burning up some of that juice that they'll need for the postseason in the regular season?
The one thing I'll say from covering Cleveland a little bit closely, obviously they made the move for DeAndre Hunter, and they did think Evan Mobley was soft coming into this year. They're very impressed with the way things have gone. But their minutes for a lot of their starters are a lot down than last year. Last year, Donovan Mitchell was playing 33, 34 minutes a game. He's dropped it to 2 to 3 minutes a game. So they're a little bit fresher now that they've got guys like Ty Jerome, who's been a real surprise for them, Karis LeVert off the bench. So they're going to be a little fresher. But you do worry a little bit if their starting 5's good enough when they're going to be relied upon.
If I'm Boston, that's the one I probably don't want to see in a 7-game, because
who's that?
Cleveland. I think that.
Well, yeah, I mean, but Boston. I mean, they won the thing last year. Now it was an easy path.
Yes. Injuries.
I mean, it was just. But man, they're. I mean, how much do they have Porzingis? And he's such a headache to deal with when he is healthy. Huh?
He's better than we thought he would be, especially with that group.
Yeah.
Because you thought they'd really make him pay on the defensive end. Hadn't really been an issue. And they've obviously got the best forwards in the league, and it's not close. you have Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. So that's going to be that would be a must-see TV 7 game.
All right, I know you get all excited. You Lakers, they get Luka and they get another steal. I mean, add it to Alcindor, add it to Pau Gasol, to Shaq. I mean, to the league rigs it for him over and over. So, but anyway, they but obviously, I mean, AD still. I was like, well, short term, I don't know about this. I think they're better. They're having a good season. AD's really good. Being healthy. He was healthy at the time. Luka was hurt, ironically. But AD's a very good defender. This is going to be, they're going to have to score 135 points every game. I mean, they're going to be so bad defensively. And then what's going on? How are they doing this? Are they just playing higher level defensive intensity during the regular season when so many teams are coasting?
So several things.
Because their numbers are way better defensively than anticipated.
So you got to give JJ Redick a lot of credit. A lot. I mean, let's review it, Jimmy. He was
short term. Let's pump the brakes a little, Henry.
I mean, okay, but never been on an NBA bench. Obviously, a long career as a player, cerebral.
There are other guys who've been on benches you could have hired.
Duke guy. And look, they bought in. And look, we all know it. LeBron's gonna be in your camp or you're not. And if he's not, you're not on the bench. And so Darvin Ham, see you later.
Right.
They've had a lot of those.
Yeah, of course.
But it's on the defensive end where they've made a lot of improvement. And it doesn't seem like they should. Look, LeBron James is 40. Luka Doncic can't guard Max. No offense, Max. Austin Reeves is a great offensive contributor and playmaker, but again,
he's not
the world on
defensively,
fire.
no.
Right. Now, they do have guys like Gabe Vincent, and they've got some Vando can play defense, but this is still a head scratcher in how they're doing this collectively. I think it's a little bit of their offense kind of feeds their defense, and they're still in transition with Luka. They're still trying to figure him out. He's game 8 with them. Now, the real Luka came out 2 nights ago when they were on the road, and he had 32 points and was the best on the court by far, and that was with LeBron James and Nikola Jokic on the court. So you start to see these glimpses of him kind of figuring it out. He's getting healthy. And that's the problem when they get into the playoffs that nobody knows. That's going to be a tough out.
Be interesting to see how personally he responds and professionally responds to being dumped on.
Yep.
For the first time.
Called fat, called out of shape.
Just sent him.
But
well, it's still
that's like you and I complaining we have to pay taxes, Jimmy, when they win the $100 million lottery.
No,
okay.
but still, as a player,
come on.
he was dumped on for the first time, and this is never, ever, ever. I mean, he's playing ball. How good was he? At 10, man. If he was, this is something completely different to him. Henry.
The first time,
usually it's at the tail end of your career. He's not at the tail end.
The first time he hit my radar, Jimmy, and I think I told you this. He was 17 years old, playing on a team with old LSU guy Anthony Randolph. Remember, play here. And they won the Euro League, and Randolph said he was the best player, and he's our leader, and it's not close. And I'm like, wait, he's 17, and that's the second best league in the world, not the NCAA's. That's the second best league behind the NBA. So that's what I knew. Okay, we got a dude, and he'd been playing professional since he was 14 years old.
Max,
yeah,
I thought you had something to say.
No. Not
okay,
I agree. I agree. The Lakers, JJ Redick has proven a lot of people wrong so far.
Man, can we just finish the first regular season?
If JJ Redick was a problem,
listen, you need to get a tattoo like he has.
Oh yeah. Let me drop F-bombs in every podcast I do.
If there were the slightest,
it gives me street cred.
If there were the slightest problems with Redick in the Lakers right now, you'd be hearing the quote-unquote anonymous sources, a.k.a. LeBron's team, having problems with him. You haven't heard anything about that. Radio's silent, which he almost always has a little problem with the coach.
Guy.
It is, but he's handpicked coaches before, and it hasn't always worked out.
Max.
Yeah. Well, let's let it play out. It's short-lived right now, so let's see. And Luka, he's going to be healthy. When it comes.
Remember,
to the playoffs
you both remember last year against the Timberwolves series. Your man controlled the whole thing.
Yes. Now the OKC series, his supporting cast was on fire.
Yes,
they were on fire.
Yeah.
and that's not sustainable. They just OKC's like, damn.
The
Hardaway,
lobs.
I mean, these guys are hitting like, who are these guys that are hitting like 3 and 4 threes in a row? So it was tough. Lots to talk about as we get closer to the NBA playoffs. Don't forget our friends at Legacy Title, Chad Reynolds and Legacy Title for all of your real estate closings. 296-0060, full service title company, servicing all of South Louisiana. Fast, friendly, professional service is what you get when you call 296-0060. Our great team at Legacy Title: Ashley Donald, Mariana Haynes, Adrian Galata, Michael Platt. Buying, building, refinancing. Nobody to choose but you. Choose Chad Reynolds and Legacy Title. Live at Doe's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Hi, this is Ashley McDaniel with Landmark Bank. At Landmark Bank, we offer competitive CD rates, business and personal accounts, loans, mobile banking, and more. But what sets us apart is our personal touch and passion for our community. We believe that the future of our bank depends on the success and satisfaction of our customers. Come see a friendly face and someone who knows you and your business and wants to help you accomplish your goals. We're now open in Brewley and would love to talk to you. Give us a call at 225-250-5411 or stop in and see us. LandmarkBankLA.com.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Guarantee Media is hiring. Come join the company that's been named as one of the best places to work in Baton Rouge. Local and committed to your career growth. Visit GuaranteeMedia.com, an equal opportunity employer. GuaranteeMedia.com.
Spring is just around the corner. It's time to wash away winter's dirt and grime with Cajun Soft Wash. Their safe and effective soft washing removes algae, mold, and pollen, restoring your home's beauty without damage. Trust Cajun Soft Wash, Baton Rouge's largest soft wash company. Book your spring cleaning today at CajunSoftWash.com.
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111, and OCBrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance. And Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt.
Jake and T-Bob here, and when it comes to roof replacements and repairs, there's a #1 top-rated roofer you need to know: Pelican Roofing. Pelican Roofing has literally hundreds of 5-star reviews and was a recipient of the 2019 Better Business Bureau Integrity Award. Hey, we know there are a lot of roofing companies, but there's only one Pelican Roofing. And Baton Rouge and Lafayette and all the surrounding areas, they even offer 0% financing for those who qualify. Call for your free estimate at 225-228-2865 or visit PelicanRoof.com.
The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Fin Bomb, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee. And Phil's Oyster Bar since 1950 on Government Street and now in the South Downs Shopping Center.
There's never been a better time than now to get out of those contacts, glasses, or readers. LASIK is one option, but you'll find even more vision correction procedures at the Williamson Eye Center. Learn about all of the vision correction surgery options and which one is best for you with a free consultation. Call 924-2020 or visit williamsoneye.com, where you can even schedule online. Williamson Eye Center. Now 8 locations to serve you around the greater Baton Rouge area. Schedule online, williamsoneye.com.
River Parish Contractors, South Louisiana's superior local team with a 32,000 square foot structural steel and fabrication shop. Come take a tour and experience their automated structural and pipe fabrication processes that provide time-efficient, precise, and economical products. When it's time to get building, get River Parish Contractors. To learn more, visit rpcontractors.com. That's rpcontractors.com.
Do you have a big business, small business, or nonprofit? Whether your business is planning its next big step or just taking its first, you can benefit from Gulf Coast Bank & Trust's knowledgeable bankers, their personal service, and business solutions. Gulf Coast Bank & Trust, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Jake and James of Trash Rangers. How does $13.95 a month for residential trash pickup sound to you? Go to TrashRangers.com for all the info and make the switch today. That's TrashRangers.com.
Construction, maintenance, turnarounds, and fabrication. Action Industries. Innovation in action.
Heading out to Las Vegas, deep in the desert, lives one man. One man of many sports bets. The one and only Andy Isco.
Andy, how's it going? Happy Mardi Gras, Andy. I know you were itching to get down here and fight the traffic, parking, and everything else to go to a parade, catch some plastic beads. But how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. Happy Mardi Gras. And although I've never been to a Mardi Gras, I've been to a number of Super Bowls and Final Fours, which I guess are sort of like mini Mardi Gras for a weekend or so.
A little bit. You know, a lot of drinking. Yeah. So I mean, similar there.
Well, that happens 7 days a week.
Yeah. Hey, we were just talking about the NBA. We're talking about the Cavaliers. Can it translate to the postseason? We're taking them. We're peeking. Henry Hayes is with me today. Charlie's at Mardi Gras. So the Thunder, I guess, did they get enough playoff experience last year? Get a taste that they have enough to continue this year? Is Joker going to get his team back and do his thing? Man, he's having statistically his best regular season that he's ever had. Murray's been kind of called out a little bit. Seems like the Knicks, boy, their defensive efficiency with Karl Anthony Towns, he's a great talent. He's not a real winner, though. But what about some of the teams, especially the Cavaliers, translating to their regular season success to the postseason?
Yeah, the lack of experience for Cleveland is what concerns me. Although I will say that Boston certainly appears much more vulnerable than we thought they might be at this time of the year. The team that I've liked, though, I've liked them really all year, has been OKC. I mean, they got some good experience last year. The West seems to be overall not as strong as it was last year when, well, for example, the team that we've talked about before, Minnesota, was a huge factor last year in the playoffs, and they seem to have never really found their stride this year. So Denver has had, well, I'll just put it this way. OKC's team, certainly in the West, you could argue with Cleveland as well, the most consistent team all year. And I like that consistency as long as they remain healthy.
Henry, why will Boston not win it again?
Well, there's the whole theory of more. They've got a ring.
Uh-huh.
And so you're talking about guys. I mean, Jaylen Brown's a $300 million plus player. Jason Tatum, similar numbers. Everything kind of went right with the Porzingis until he got hurt in the finals last year. I think that a team like Cleveland, that's a tough, they're going to make you earn everything. I think that would be their kryptonite. But look, man, they've been better than I thought they would have been, because I don't love Tatum as a leader, although he's got a ring. So, but I think that would be their kryptonite, Jimmy.
Boston, Andy, is basically a pick 'em. It's Boston versus the field in the Eastern Conference. It is Oklahoma City versus the field in the Western Conference. Any teams at a price that could win either of those conferences and upset those teams?
A couple of weeks ago, I did like the Knicks. I'm not quite as sold on them right now, although, again, they're well coached. Interesting enough, a coach that made his mark, certainly on defense in previous locations as an assistant as well. But I guess Denver still has to be considered a threat because of the talent that they have. I'm not that keen on the Lakers, although I certainly think that Doncic will continue to assimilate in, but I just don't know if the overall roster, and you have to worry about LeBron's age and everything. So I haven't really found anybody in the NBA that I've liked a lot. I did play the Knicks a little while ago while they were playing well to win to win their division, not to win the conference, and that's looking a little bit shaky. Although Boston seems to be able to play well, and they had a nice effort the other day against Denver in what was a really bad spot for the Nuggets. And Boston, again, they had a nice lead. They gave part of it back, but they ended up winning and covering in the end. So I just don't see any really dominant team. Again, as much as I like OKC and as much as I like Cleveland, are there teams that may be a little bit more experienced who have been taking their time? It's kind of like what we saw Golden State do all those years, where they didn't put a great deal of emphasis on the regular season, but come playoff time, we saw the team that we expected to see all regular season. I'm not so sure I can say that about Boston.
Well, Henry, both Cleveland and Oklahoma City won one round, and that's it. Lost in the second round, right?
That's right.
So, I mean, why would we give Oklahoma City a little bit more of experience.
It's a year.
And both of them ran into hot teams. Indiana was super hot, and then of course it was the role players with Luka that were super hot. They didn't. Had they continued that, they may have been able to be a little bit more competitive against the Celtics. But still, it's kind of funny how we kind of deferred to Oklahoma City a little bit more. I mean, maybe because they did so much damage and they get a big piece like Holmgren.
That
back,
and SGA is.
He's the MVP.
That's a different deal. He's not a nice player. He is the league MVP, and he's averaging almost 33 points a game. That puts him on a different level. And then you have even Caruso is on a. They're deeper than they've been. Now Holmgren was hurt, only played 18 games so far, but the mix they have, it's a tough place to play.
So why is SGA that much stronger than Mitchell?
I think number one, he gets to the line more than any player in the league.
Well, I hate to get so
and that's just a skill. I mean, that's a veteran move, and he is a tough cover, and he makes all those guys around him better, and he is a problem.
Both. Let's move to the to the college basketball. We've been having this discussion, and also want to bring you aboard right now. Auburn. This is at our local shop, the Queen, which is a DraftKings outlet. Auburn is plus 340 to win it all. Duke is plus 350. Basically, co-favorites to win it all. You got one team you bet on between those two. Who you taking?
Well, you could certainly like Auburn because of the tougher conference that they play, and I've not been overly impressed with the ACC this year. There have been some nice stories. Clemson's been a nice story. Of course, Duke just blowing teams away. I don't know that I could play either of those teams simply because of the short odds. What I would end up doing, as I normally, and I've talked about it before, is if you like those teams, wait till the tournament and just keep playing the money line and roll it over. Because at the end, they're going to start facing some teams where they're relatively pricey, where they've built up a little bit of a bankroll. Not great because they're going to be heavy favorites for at least the first two rounds, but you'll probably end up getting, I'm going to say probably somewhere between 4.5 to 1 if you do it that way. The team that I really like, and they're offensively challenged, but their defense is so good, is a team like Houston. I think right now, I haven't played them. I want to just see how it plays out, but right now, I know you can get 6 to 1. That seems to be a very reasonable price for a team that's very hard to run your offense against.
Plus 750 now, 7.5 to 1.
Even better
is what you're getting right now. I'm not. I don't think they got it. I watched those two teams last night, and I saw one team that could win it all in Duke, and I saw one team that I just don't think they can. They have improved some on offense. Their numbers look better. My eyeball tells me, and this has been a while. I mean, I just don't see the offensive improvement. They still go through these bad scoring drives. They have some poor possessions, some really poor possessions. So I just don't see it. And but it's Sampson's team. I mean, he's the common denominator. They emphasize defense and rebounding, and they're still good at that. And on the offensive end, they're not as strong. You know what?
In about 2 weeks, we'll get the important information, and that is what will each team's path be to get to let's say the Final Four. Because depending upon what Houston's draw is, they may find some teams that they match up very nicely against. On the other hand, they might find teams that are just as good, or maybe not just as good, but almost as good defensively, but with a huge edge offensively. So sometimes it is worth waiting when you're talking about some of these low-priced teams, let's say single digits or 10 to 1 or less right now. Maybe it's best sometimes to wait and see what the revised odds are that come out Sunday night, Monday morning of Selection Sunday.
Another thing, like Auburn's chances as well, I go back to Virginia. Well, Virginia, when they won it all, what did they do the year before? They lost as a 1 seed. It's 16.
Like when Auburn losing to Yale last year.
Yes. And so that just kind of makes you that off season just a little bit hungrier. You don't want to end on it. I mean, that was a bad loss. They had a double-digit lead. I forget, it may have been 14 or something like that in the second half, and man, just went ice cold. This team is way more balanced and way better offensively.
By the way, that's an important lesson for a lot of these teams. don't take any team lightly in the tournament.
No, you can't. I mean, that 3-point line, man. I mean, you can have a hot day. I mean, like the guy from Oakland, and Michigan. I mean,
Larry Nerd.
I
Remember
mean,
Larry Nerd?
Yeah, I mean, well, he didn't make it to the tournament last year.
But a guy like that.
Yeah,
by,
yeah.
By the way, especially those teams that come from one bid conferences, because they've had to win 4 or 5 games or their season is over. So those teams know what they have to. Now you're usually getting a lot of points with those teams, and depending, I don't know, maybe Duke is the one team that you might find a 25-point favorite this year. There might be some others depending upon the matchups, but a lot of these minor, especially with the transfer portal, where you're able to get some of the guys who just can't make it in the major conferences become the stars in the lesser conferences. I think we're starting to see a little bit more parity. It might take another 3 or 4 years, but we may end up having more players capable of winning the tournament, say 3 years from now than we do right now.
I think Duke and Auburn will be 30-plus point favorites in their first round. I mean, they're beating
Duke,
teams.
I think certainly.
I mean, Duke now 7-0 against the spread in winning by an average of over that against more teams with higher ratings in the 16 seed. We got a great card tonight, Andy. Anything you like in college basketball?
I haven't really seen a lot. I might take a look at Purdue tonight going up against a Rutgers team. Purdue starting to play a little bit better, more consistency. Of course, they're not the same team as they were the last couple of years. VCU, boys, they are just dominating their conference. They're laying, I think, 9.5 at Duquesne. Not sure I want to play VCU, but I can't take the points with Duquesne, where it looks a little too easy to play VCU, but they're just blowing teams away. For the most part, I didn't really find anything that I liked all that much. Possibly Villanova laying 5.5 at Georgetown. Villanova looking to improve its possibility of getting one of those at-large bids from a Big East conference that really has been a surprise this year. A team like Connecticut struggling as much as they have. So those are a couple, but I have not made any plays on tonight's cards. But it's very careful. I do take a look at this time, and even though I mentioned some road teams up there, I do like to place some emphasis on teams playing with need that are playing their final home game.
There you go, Henry. You talk about a team with more pros, may not be the best college team. Rutgers, 2 lottery picks.
Yeah.
I mean, Harper looks great individually. Bailey's a pro. I ain't no doubt. He's a first-round pick. They're 14-15. They've got a losing record.
Go figure.
A losing record. They were preseason fringe ranked top 25 because of those two guys. Rough year for the Scarlet Knights. Follow Andy Isco on Twitter, on X, at Andy, at Vegas Andy 711. Andy, great stuff as always. We'll talk to you next week. Tournament championship week next week.
A lot of great. That's almost as good as the entire tournament itself, and that's the conference tournament week.
All right. Thank you, buddy. We'll talk to you next week.
Take care, guys.
Don't forget our friends at K&M Automotive on Segan Lane, 8445 Segan Lane, Segan and Perkins, right across from Ambrosia Bakery. The only place I take my vehicle. That engine light comes on. You don't know what's going on. Take it in to K&M Automotive. Anything under the hood, belts, hoses, general services, undercar service, electronic repair, AC repair, electrical transmission services, you name it. They're open 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. My buddy Jason Payne going to give you an honest deal. Going to try and find you a less costly, a less expensive repair as opposed to a more expensive replace. But if something is seriously failing in the engine, he will let you know it. Don't want you to drive unsafely. So don't forget our friends at K&M Automotive, 8445 Segan Lane, Segan and Perkins, right across from Ambrosia Bakery. Live at Doe's Eat Place, Government Street in the heart of Mid-City. Live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
This is Charles Hanniger for the Thibodeau Store, 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodeau. As we turn the calendar to March, time to start thinking about those home improvement projects here in the spring. If you don't know exactly how to proceed, you're not alone. That's why the experts at the Thibodeau Store will always be able to point you in the right direction. You won't be wasting time on procedures that don't work, and you won't be wasting money on supplies that you don't need. Mostly for these small projects, you won't have to hire a contractor, which can save you a lot of money. So much better than working off of a YouTube video where you can't ask questions. Also, at the Thibodeau store, you can go online. So many discounts online. Pressure washers on special right now here in the spring. And a lot of these items on the website are available for free home delivery. You need lumber that comes out of their sister property at the Pierre Part store, available for delivery too. They just recently, last fall, celebrated their 113th year anniversary. The Thibodeau store, 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodeau, and online at thibodeaustore.com.
Ever ask a friend questions about their new pool and they don't know the answers? That means one thing. They didn't use Duplessis Builders. Duplessis Builders has a showroom, personal consultations, and they've literally written the book on building pools. That book is available for you to download for free at duplessisbuilders.net. Every question, option, what to ask potential pool builders, everything you need to know about building your dream pool and more is at duplessisbuilders.net. Click the tab Our Book. That's duplessisbuilders.net.
Workbox can handle all of your movable storage needs, commercial and residential. Our shipping containers come in various sizes, 8x8, 8x10, 8x20, or even 8x40 feet. Not just one size. These units can be customized for any use. Custom lunchrooms, offices, work sites for plumbers or welders, dual purpose, part office, part storage, climate control, shelving, lighting, using different materials, whatever you need. Give my buddy Martin Padiella at Workbox a call at 343-4886, 343-4886, and workboxllc.com.
If you're looking for some time away, but you don't want to go too far, the Cook Hotel at LSU is just what you've been searching for. Book your getaway today and enjoy a beautiful escape in any of their luxurious guest rooms or suites overlooking the gorgeous LSU lakes. Whether you're here to shop or stay, the Cook Hotel at LSU is where you can find it all. Stay for the weekend, come by, grab lunch, or shop at their alumni gift shop. Visit thecookhotel.com to book your stay today. That's thecookhotel.com.
Need a lift in a bedroom? It's more common than you think. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness is here to help you rise again. With our expert care, you can regain your peak performance. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
TRICARE Automotive has another great TRICARE Tuesday offer for you. For a limited time, get $25 off our oil change and tire rotation combo by stopping by and saying TRICARE Tuesday, even if it's not Tuesday.
By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crowntown Room at Dozy Place. The Crowntown Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with the sriracha glaze for the perfect blend of sweet and spicy. You can't go wrong also with the flash fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Dozy Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
Custom Colors Body and Paint, we're excited to have Will Rapp and Ian McKnight on our team. They're continuing the tradition of exceptional service that Billy Rapp and Pete McKnight began back in 1987. Custom Colors, located in the Industrial Plex off Seagan.
Jake and James, the Trash Rangers. Do you need one more reason to switch your residential trash pickup? How about $13.95 a month for the first few months? Go to trashrangers.com and make the switch today.
Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 5 brands on one lot. Shop BayouAutomotive.com.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Doe's Eat Place on Government Street on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All right, closing hour number 1 out. Henry, what's your thoughts on LSU hoops, man? They're going to Rupp tonight.
Look, this
was the trip that kind of changed the whole thing, huh? For Will Wade. Will Wade went there, beat him, and Calipari's like, wait a minute.
It was before that. They beat him on Javonte Smart. So it was before that. He was committed to Kentucky. Will comes in. Scotlandville's own Javonte Smart now going to LSU. So it started a lot before that game.
Things started to get turned a little attention more. I understand he was heavy on Smart, but he lost players before. He lost Tasman Mitchell.
Yeah,
he was Tasman. He didn't want Tasman. He recruited Tasman hard.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Came down here in the big blue private jet, and so. But when he went there and he said, "Wait a minute, team like won this team won 1 or 2 games. How you have better players than me?"
Yeah,
kind of deal. And they did. They did have better players, so that was kind of the
30?
started everything. But man, this thing, one more year. We've seen 1 year guys do it 1 year all over the place. How's a guy we've seen 3 years going to turn around in 1 year?
Because the rules have changed drastically, and so I think you have to say, with both hands up in front, then let's judge. And I get the other side. I get it. I
Good
know
luck.
it's not.
Windows down. Bet what you want. Live at lunch. Live at Doe's. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Enjoy the convenience of Genesis Service Valet, an ownership benefit that allows you to have your vehicle serviced without leaving your home or office. The valet will pick up your vehicle for maintenance and return it once it's done. Additionally, if required, the valet can provide a loaner or transport you to and from the retailer. Service Valet is available for 3 years or 36,000 miles with a purchase of a new Genesis. Visit GenesisOfBatonRouge.com today to explore our lineup and schedule your test drive. Luxury awaits. Genesis of Baton Rouge on Airline across from Women's Hospital.
Sign up for P.F. Chang's Rewards today. Get exclusive offers, earn Chang's cash, and get yourself a free dessert on your birthday. You can sign up online or the next time you visit, ask your server. We're in Town Center off Corporate Boulevard. Look for the Giant Golden Horse.
Insurance companies have teams of professionals to fight your claim. If you want to know what your case is really worth, I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7970.
Now, everybody's been to Louis Cafe by campus. Heck, it's been around since over 80 years now. We're still doing delicious omelets like the Mitchell, cheesy grits, Big Cheesy Lou, and those Louis' original Cajun hash browns. We now offer a pickup window. Just call in your order at 346-8221. Give us 15 or 20 minutes. We'll have it ready for you. Our hours are now 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., 7 days a week. So next time you visit campus, make it a point to stop by and visit an old friend. Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU.
For service you can feel, you gotta call Capital City Comfort.
Spring is here, and the experts at Capital City Comfort want to guarantee your comfort with a new energy-efficient Rheem HVAC system. This spring, take advantage of special financing and expert installation on all new units.
For service you can feel, you gotta call Capital City Comfort.
Visit CapitalCityComfort-BR.com.
Ready to take your brand awareness to new heights?
Experience the power of audio and digital marketing combined with Guaranteed Digital Media.
Our radio branding messages resonate through the airwaves, leaving a lasting impression.
Combine this with digital tactics like retargeting, geofencing, and social media to really boost your reach.
Imagine your radio ad complemented by targeted digital ads, ensuring your brand is seen and heard across multiple platforms.
To learn more, visit 1045ESPN.com and click connect. That's 1045ESPN.com and click connect.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners. When it comes to retirement, there are no two situations alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you, your business partners, your legal team, and tax professionals to make sure those goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his great staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Edge Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
It's the best of all worlds. Great cigars, great cocktails, and an amazing atmosphere. It's Don Juan Cigar Bar. Located in Town Center, Don Juan is the perfect place to enjoy a great cocktail, beer on tap, a wide selection of scotches and bourbons, and of course, a fine premium cigar. Sit back, relax, let the time fade by. Don Juan Cigar Bar. Great cocktails, great cigars, the good life. Check them out online, DonJuanCigarBar.com.
Now that it's cooler outside, this is the perfect time of year to get new windows, doors, and siding by calling me, Tommy, from Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding. So set up your free quote today at GoTommys.com. That's GEAUX Tommys.com.
Why do billion-dollar insurance companies regularly delay and deny valid claims? Because that's how they got to be billion-dollar insurance companies. If you've been injured, I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21 12681. Offices in Baton Rouge. Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny from Doe's Eat Place on Government Street on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Happy Mardi Gras, Charlie, with the day off. He will be back tomorrow as we do the show live at Modesto on Burbank for Ash Wednesday. So if you are trying to dodge the weather, you're looking for somewhere to come to eat for lunch, come on by and see us. Come on by. We're doing the show hour in the Crown Town Room. It's always available for big parties, or if you want to even rent out the whole thing, no problem. Or reserve the whole thing. Plenty of TVs to watch ball games as well. Championship week next week. LSU does go to Kentucky tonight in Rupp, and one bad dose of bad news for the Kentucky Wildcats. It's been Butler and Robinson as the two guards for Kentucky that have been in and out of the lineup, and Pope publicly yesterday ruled out Robinson for the rest of the season. So he is out for the season. Their second leading scorer, 13 a game. Butler is averaging 12 and a half a game. Butler's also their best defender, playing for San Diego State for 3 or 4 years. I mean, they play defense at San Diego State. So Kentucky, that'll be a 6 o'clock tip in Rupp Arena. And Henry, you asked me if Pope was going to be, I think he's having a successful first season. It was a kind of a late move, if you remember, for Calipari to Arkansas. So it was a late hire, even later hire for the Kentucky Wildcats. And so, a less than, not exactly a splash, but they went one of their own, an up-and-comer. And Rick Pitino certainly gave his blessing. Pitino also gave a blessing recently to a potential move, and that is his former assistant. I believe it was at Louisville. He endorsed him for the Indiana job. Ole Miss coach Chris Beard. So Beard, who got a little stain at Texas, doing just fine at Ole Miss, on their way to the tournament. We can debate whether they should be better or not, but they're going to the tournament. It's a tough league, and they're holding their own this year. Man, he's a great coach. He got Texas Tech to the final. He's highly respected, as good as it gets to me as far as getting the most out of his roster. Indiana likes to play moralist sometimes. And now, well, you know where that gets you. That usually gets you close to last in college basketball when you play the moral angle. But, yeah, that's why they fired their last 6 hires to hire. And is Indiana a good job? Because Indiana historically is a program that it takes the right coach to win. There's ones where any coach, if you're good enough, can win there. And it's a no. What? Show me somebody outside of Knight who's going to win big. Davis, fine. They got it to the finals one year. That was a 5th seed. That was the best season, a 5-seed season. So Cinderella run to the finals against Maryland where they lost, but still they fired him too. He was not considered a success in Bloomington.
Kind of reminds me of Nebraska football.
Absolutely.
I mean, geolocated, not great. I mean, do you want to go to Lincoln? Do you want to go to
I think it's less important in basketball.
I agree with that.
You know,
that's right. And you need what? You need 30 of them on the football field. You need 5 on the basketball court. So, but yeah, some of these UCLA now, on the other hand, same thing. Basketball, I mean, should be a lot better than they are.
Cronin's gone so nuts publicly at these press conferences, whether it's his players, the Big Ten, for setting up this travel, whatever it is. He has gotten he's been banana. He's kind of upstaged Hurley.
Yeah.
I mean, but he is going. It almost like he's itching to get out. Man, I didn't sign up for all this travel to Big Ten. Was he going to take another Big Ten job? But he's saying it way tougher on the West Coast schools than it is on the traditional, Big Ten schools. Because when they travel to the West Coast, they stay in the same hotel for a 3-day span. When they go to SC one day and they go to UCLA 2 days later. So, but he's been crazy out there, and they've been top of the food chain as far as the cheapest athletic department when it comes to Power 4 athletic
Well,
departments.
and even though it's LA, not exactly the harsh spotlight of a Philly or a New York media. I mean, come on, you can handle it.
He's going out of his way.
Yeah.
No, he's the one that's going out of his way. He's blasting his team because they're playing fine now. I want to say I think they're in a tournament right now, but I mean that was a nice win for them last night against a kind of a team that's pretty hot now in Northwestern, who won their last 2 games by double digits on the road in Evanston. So they win that swing. They win in at Indiana, in at Northwestern. So a nice win for UCLA last night. But no, it just kind of seems like that's a tough job. I mean, Chip Kelly just leaves.
Yeah.
I mean, it's man, so you're fighting a bunch. So you don't have as much budget, player budget, facilities budget, and then your coaches, whoever, have to pay a higher cost of living when you're dealing with a smaller budget. So I mean, it's your take home pay is not nearly as what it's got to be at the bottom. So there's a lot of things. You can only sell going to the beach so much.
You got to decide if they want to be a big boy, and they have not.
They have not even close.
Yeah.
Not even close. And so they were losing money. That's why they had to try and get into the Big Ten and try and be part of their piece. As far as getting the revenue sharing with the Big Ten. So we'll see. The thing is going on Florida State and Clemson too, huh? They got to doing some. I mean, they're just they changed. They now based on wins. Now they want to say based on the television ratings, they want a bigger piece of the pie. I mean, it is. I don't know, man. I don't know. I just want to see all the big boys play. Just get rid of the Lorena wins.
Top 65. Just play the top 65, and somebody's gonna win, somebody's gonna lose, but
somebody's gonna get left out.
That's right. And you can have a second cut, 66 to 120. But I'm with you, because if they're going to ask for that kind of TV revenue, then those games better be good. And boy, it's there's nothing like a great college football Saturday, and there's nothing like a dud college football Saturday.
Yeah,
that
there's some dud games out there. There's no doubt. And man, your season ticket holders. I mean, you're leaning on more than ever because your expenses with player budget. More than so you're leaning on them more than ever. And I understand it's a payday, but give your season ticket holders something too.
Well, Tennessee's already put the tax on their season ticket holders to go straight to the NIL coffers, so that's happening. So no, you're right.
Right.
Yeah.
And we're transparent with it too.
That's right.
Yeah. Now, could they have done it a couple of years ago? Or 3 or 4 years ago? Before Hypo had a little taste of success. So. And that's where I wonder about Florida State. Such a powerhouse, such a big dog, like 15 straight years, finished top 3 ranked. When it was all said and done, Bobby Bowden play anybody, anywhere, took a 4 or 5 for 1 trip to Baton Rouge in the late 70s, early 80s. I mean,
if you what's the number?
Like when Central Florida turns their nose up, they don't want to do a 2 for 1 with Gainesville. Gainesville, please, right down the street. You gotta earn your spot. So,
what do you think the over under on Florida State's wins in Vegas is right now? 6.5. If you had to guess, but they won 2 games, right? In 2024,
2 or 3. After going undefeated the year before.
6, 7, 6?
7.5.
Oof, okay.
7. They still have more resources than the rest of the ACC, and they're looking for a bounce back year. I mean, I know he could build it as soon as it got torn down, and so I mean. Come on. Who are you going to have more faith in turning things around? Them or Wake Forest? I mean, Duke's losing another coach, So the only over-under that's been put out for a college football team has been North Carolina. because of all the attention.
Changed, right?
And it opened up 6.5.
Yeah.
And they bet it to 7.5. So it's already at 7.5 right now. But I have not seen any college football.
I guess
I've seen a few lines.
once the next portal opens and closes, that's when you'll get your rush. Wouldn't you think?
Yeah. LSU Clemson line is out at the Queen at DraftKings. Ohio State, Texas. Hey, Texas had to go outside in schedule because the league won't make it any tougher. How can you do that?
It's
how can they do that? Oklahoma's kicked their ass for years on the field. Kill them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, own them. I mean, recently, historically, the whole bit. And I mean, how can they just why do they have to kiss up to Texas?
That was really strange because it's two things. It's that, and then it's their direct rivals flipped, make it as hard as possible for the Sooners.
Well, yeah, no. Well, everybody was playing. You know, either you're playing 7, they're playing 7. They're going to play each other and play. 14 other members. They'll play 7. So it's easy, but balance it out more.
How's that Longhorn Network doing?
No, that was part of the deal. They would, and that's why you want. What do you? All I heard was, even Nick Saban said Texas ain't going to get that special treatment in the SEC. Well, they are, and it's funny. It took them a few weeks of the season to realize, their schedule's pretty weak, and they predictably so. They had an easy path to the playoff, but they didn't have the horses to take it.
Bias aside, how good do you think Arch is going to be?
I think he's going to be good.
You think he's
I think he's going to be good.
Is he Eli in the pros?
I have no idea.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
I have no idea. Who knows? He's a different kind of kid. He's a little bit more athletic. He's just when I saw him play against Ethan and them, his junior year, and the first thing that sticks out, and I saw his uncles in high school, and physically, he's just way more. He's way bigger. He's way more put together. Him being his designated runner is not. He doesn't.
Fallacy.
He doesn't really want. He's gonna make his living with his arm. Okay, that was just a role to get him on the field a little bit, and that with Ewers with his injuries, and maybe he was just a little bit more powerful runner than Ewers in his short yardage. But let's not. He is no Tim Tebow. He is not a guy that really wants to run. And you saw he got hurt in the running play against Ohio State.
Right, like the kid from K-State. That's a running. The blonde kid,
Howard.
Yeah, no, the kid who took over for him, his scat a little bit, got some wiggle, kind of the blonde, long, kind of
for Ohio State, the starter,
Kansas State.
Okay. Oh no, Avery Johnson.
Yeah.
Yes. He is an athlete trying to play. Yes. Oh yeah, he is. His mechanics are highly flawed for a passer. He's the next athlete they're trying to make a quarterback. Yeah. So he made some bad throws, man. But then he'll connect on one every now and then. But their first 5-star recruit, they nudged Howard out the way.
Yep.
Howard, by the way, had a horrible. Speaking of football, for a second, we failed to mention that 2 former LSU quarterbacks with some offseason moves recently that's going to affect their team. So T. Higgins, for the second straight year, is given a franchise tag. So he is going to he's not happy, but they still haven't signed Jamar Chase's deal yet. I mean, they
should go north of Justin Jefferson's deal. Statistically, he was a better receiver.
He had the Triple Crown this year, so
you can't argue.
And I'll go back, and he was a year behind Jefferson here, and he was considered the better player.
Different.
Burrow never said if Jefferson single covered, he's going to him every time. He did say if Chase is single covered every time. Burrow thought that he was better. Okay, they're both great. And it's come see, come saw. And Jefferson has continued to develop into his professional career. Chase ain't doing bad himself, but just they're close. They're close. But Jefferson signed his deal 2 years ago. Chase is going to sign his this year, and he's going to get more. He's going to get more. But
Jimmy,
Cincinnati. But the thing is, how does it affect? So they still got to get players. They still got to help the defense. They still got to improve their offensive line. I know they've tried to Band-Aid it a little bit, but I've got no confidence that they're going to be a better team. Yeah, they may win the closer games that they lost this year, but to make a run for the whole thing, that roster is not there. Just, re-signing his 2 favorite targets. On the other hand is Washington going to try and make this real? Yes, they take a salary cap hit bringing on Deebo Samuel. But, a 5th-round pick, they give it up. They still have room. Use it. So this is why, New Orleans Saints, you try and improve your salary cap situation. That's a nice piece that Jaden Daniels is adding, huh?
And for the play caller there who was creative, I loved how San Francisco used Deebo because he was all over the place. Toss sweeps, routes, reverses. He would throw it from time to time. He had his hands on the football all the time. Now, physically, is he still enough, you think?
Well, he's just got to stay healthy.
Yeah.
He's got to stay healthy.
But what a weapon.
Oh, no. And in the screen game, Washington is a screen-heavy team. He's going to fit right in there, and it's just a nice piece, because there was – you talk about a Band-Aid roster, very similar, minus Reggie Bush. Very similar to Peyton's first year at the Saints. Just trying to add people. He took some pieces over from Dallas, cut into Dallas's depth. The whole bit. It was a lot of but man, they won the close games, the miracle against Chicago, the comeback when Hurts got hurt against Philadelphia, and some others. When Raheem Morris doesn't realize how to use timeouts, he wasted 5. When it didn't waste 5, he took 5 timeouts on the plane ride home back to Atlanta with him in that game.
You think is Scary Terry wide receiver 1? Is he good enough?
100%.
You think so?
Look at the list of quarterbacks that he's had consecutive 1,000-yard receiving seasons. 100%.
Okay.
And you watch him adjust to that ball when Jaden likes to go over the top. Does he ever drop it? Does he ever not catch it? He's got by far the best.
This has got to be.
But he needs some secondary receivers, like the first game with Philadelphia. Only rush 4. They could get pressure at 4, and then they could take him out the game. And he only had 2 targets the whole game.
I have a hot take for you. This has got to be the height of the premium LSU football players in the NFL ever.
No doubt.
Joe Burrow,
no doubt.
Justin Jefferson.
You don't have quite
Chase.
the numbers. They've dipped, behind Alabama and Ohio State. But the impact players.
Derek Stingley.
No, the stars.
He had a pretty good year at corner.
No, he's
Name
all
a better.
pro.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So your guys that are at the top of the league are striping it.
Yeah. No, this it'll be interesting to see how Hunter compares with Surtain.
Can we stop with the Ohtani, Shohei, please?
What are you talking about?
Is Travis Hunter? Is it more impressive what he's doing than Shohei Ohtani? Please.
I don't know. It's a
you don't
sport.
know. Come on, you're a baseball guy.
I'd really not. I've seen.
Let me ask you this.
I've seen some people do what Ohtani's doing. Not many. I haven't seen what
Jimmy,
what Hunter's done.
How many?
I've never seen a guy play the whole game. At that position at this.
How many wide receivers in the NFL right now that you say, look, we're going to give you 3 months. We're going to teach you the fundamentals of playing corner.
No.
None of them can do it?
No. It's easier to flip the other side.
Okay.
Like Sanders did. It's much tougher to play cornerback than it is wide receiver.
Okay.
Without a doubt.
Give me the
rules and the rules continue to make it tougher. Henry, we got to get a break. Don't forget our friends at Relief Windows, top quality windows, doors, siding, and interior shutters. Exceptional customer service. Don't forget, like our siding, the vinyl siding, the Hardy plank siding, the different sidings that we have over here. The Hardy plank siding, Relief Windows, proud to be a James Hardy preferred contractor, bringing the very best in siding directly to your home. Our fiber cement products can help give your home high-end curb appeal with low maintenance. Give our friends at Relief Windows a call, 230-5652, or go to reliefwindows.com. I sure wish I knew about Relief Windows with the original construction of my home. Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. Live at lunch, live at Doe's, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Sammy's Grill on Highland Road since 1988, a hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games in a casual atmosphere with the friendliest service. Right now, we're boiling crawfish 7 days a week. Monday through Friday, first batch comes out at 5 p.m., weekends at noon.
Sammy serves a wide mix of authentic Louisiana food prepared to order with the best ingredients available. Fresh Louisiana seafood, Cajun favorites, burgers, and po' boys, all built from scratch. Our kids' menu and popular appetizers are sure to please the pickiest of eaters. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road, near Starring since 1988.
Live at lunch.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code QUICK to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code QUICK for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code QUICK for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Spring into savings at Shawbills Tire and Auto Service. For the month of March, get up to $150 back when you buy a set of 4 select Toyo tires. Plus, get free installation, a $118 value when you use your Shawbills credit card. Visit ShawbillsTire.com to shop Toyo tires and for complete offer details. Shawbills, we keep you rolling. Offer valid March 1st through the 31st. Void where prohibited, subject to credit approval.
Run with us on a John Deere Z365R Z-Track mower, built for taking it easy. With the Easy Change 30-second oil change system and standard mulch control to control your clippings without any extra effort. Because lawns aren't just for mowing, they're for living. Nothing runs like a Deere. Search John Deere Z300 for more.
Pre-order your new John Deere at Ascension Equipment on Airline Highway in Gonzales. Pre-order now and get your mower before the grass grows.
Do you need to enhance your backyard patio or pool area? Gotlit Lights has you covered. Whether it's a wedding, private event, or a simple way to illuminate your landscape, we've got the expertise to bring your vision to life. Visit GotLitLights.com because everything looks better when it's lit.
Need more space? Workbox LLC has the storage solutions you can count on. Whether you're a homeowner, commercial contractor, or industrial business, we have the space for you. Our secure, versatile storage units are ready to meet your needs. Contractors, keep your site organized and efficient. Store your materials with us and access them anytime you need. Businesses, industries of any size, Workbox LLC is your trusted partner for flexible, safe storage. Workbox 343-4886 and workboxllc.com.
I'm Brandon Barton, owner of K to Z Window Coverings, husband, father, and friend to many with a simple holiday message. Do something for yourself this year. Sure, take care of the kids, as always, but you deserve something too. Something that you'll love for years to come, like a motorized or a manual screen for your patio. It can help extend your patio season and keep you in your happy place when it's time to relax. Call me or go to K2ZBlinds.com now.
K to Z Window Coverings.
Hey guys, this is Kellen Martin with First South Farm Credit in Zachary. When you're in the market for land, you want a lender who can give you the most options. At First South, we understand what it means to own your own piece of land. Maybe you're ready to get out of that deer lease and get your own property. Or maybe you just want 10 acres to build a home on outside of the city. Whatever it is, call me, Kellen Martin, at First South Farm Credit in Zachary. Or find us online at firstsouthland.com.
Jake and James of Trash Rangers. Do you need one more reason to switch your residential trash pickup? How about $13.95 a month for the first few months? Go to trashrangers.com and make the switch today.
Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 5 brands on one lot. Shop BayouAutomotive.com.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Doe's Eat Place on Government Street on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Oh, the college basketball starts at 5 o'clock today. 5 o'clock today. How about South Carolina? They won 2 games, but here you go, Henry. They've covered 7 home games in a row.
The worst team in the league.
Yes, have covered 7 in a row. They won their last 2 by double digits. Texas, their coach is in a lot of trouble. Did you see that game Saturday? And you talk about a pro. That kid can go. I mean, they lost that game at Arkansas where he scored 39. The lottery pick, I forget his name. But Georgia at South Carolina. Tough spot here for Georgia, too, where they are coming off their best 2 wins. Best win of the season against Florida, okay, when they shot the lights out. The 15-minute mark in the second half, they were 67% from the floor. And then they go on the road, their best road win in Austin against Texas. We like South Carolina plus the 1.5 in that one. Kind of like Purdue to run away with Rutgers again. That Rutgers, those kids have had a rough go of it. Purdue trying to get back right, too, after a little mini slump right now. LSU and Kentucky. Kentucky is laying 12.5. LSU was better. Better on the defensive glass on Saturday. They didn't give up nearly as many offensive rebounds, and better with the turnovers on Saturday, but still lost going away against Mississippi State. Speaking of state, they have Texas. They quit on this guy. That was a weak effort at home against Georgia. That with the success Texas the last 2 years going to the playoff, the 4-team and a 12-team, nobody even cares about basketball right now.
Brand new arena, though.
Brand new arena. The folks at LSU are
Moody
the
Center.
same people are doing it, right?
That's correct.
So what does that mean?
Means that it would be an arena where the current golf course is 80 LSU dates a year and sparkling, like really nice.
Nicely.
Oh,
yes. And but the shared we do concerts and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
Or is it operated by an outside?
Correct.
Okay. It's outside operated. Auburn goes to Texas A&M. Stinky line here. 5.5 against all of a sudden A&M is struggling. This is the toughest stretch of the season. They got all the way up to number 5 in the country with number 2 seed. They're not anymore. They're down to number 22 in the country. Auburn, it just smashed Kentucky. They play Alabama Saturday for their last game. They've already clinched the outright victory. You saw the video of them in a plane ride when Tennessee knocked out Alabama. We ain't sharing. We ain't sharing. So
this feels like SEC football. No breaks.
So a little spot, or does Auburn, with been so mature and just kills everybody, will they finally exhale after they've secured their outright regular season championship?
That's not in Bruce Pearl's nature. I don't think so.
I know whose nature it's not in. That Johnny Broom, Janai Broom, he does Bruce Pearl's dirty work. Man, somebody on that team makes a dumb play or lazy play. He is on their butt. I mean, he is. Here's the one. 2 of the biggest split teams, home and away, BYU and Iowa State. BYU playing their best ball of the season. Went to Arizona, went to Tucson, and beat them, even as controversial as it was. And Iowa State's getting back on track. They've got their players back. Remember, their top 2 scorers have been out for a while. But BYU now has won 6 in a row. They blasted West Virginia and Arizona State recently by double digits. Won at Tucson, beat remember they beat Kansas by 34. So they're hot right now. But, man, they're going into a tough spot in Ames, Iowa to play. We'll see about that. Talk about fired a coach, too. Also, doesn't have to worry about recruiting 24/7, 365. Can just coach. And it's not just the modest win streak right now that the Indiana Hoosiers are on, winning 4 or 5. But even the games before that, lost to Michigan by 3, lost to Purdue by 5. Great game at Purdue. Lost to Maryland by 1. So now he doesn't care. You tell somebody he ain't worried about if they leave or not. This is a better team, a better coach team, way better team now that is out the way. It's interesting how that works.
Yeah, for sure. And this is a really great time to be a college basketball fan as we kind of round third base heading into the tournaments. And then, of course, March Madness.
Oregon has won 5 in a row. They're laying 6.5 to Indiana tonight, right after they lost 5 in a row.
Court still gives me a headache.
Oh, it's just too much.
Come on, man.
Come on. It's too much. It's too much. I understand. You kind of now kind of belong.
Yeah. Don't gimmick.
We don't have to do the gimmicks.
It's not the Maction.
Paul Stone was talking about that Cotton Bowl. I think it was in '99 when Ricky Williams ran all over Mississippi State. He said his fiance at the time had enough of the Cowbells. I said, welcome to the league. They ain't going nowhere. The Cowbells are here to stay. And so we'll see about that. Otterlocks later today. You can check them out at louisianasports.net as well. We'll have those up later today. Want to remind everybody about our friends over at Workbox Services. Workbox Services, my buddy Martin Padial over at Workbox Services, doing a great job. Can handle all of your movable storage needs, commercial and residential. Our shipping containers come in various sizes, 8x8, 8x10, 8x20, even 8x40 feet, not just in one size. These units can be customized for any use. Lunchrooms, offices, work sites for plumbers or welders, climate control, shelving, lighting, using different materials, whatever you need, whatever you desire. Give my buddy Martin Padial and Workbox a call, 343-4886 and WorkboxLLC.com. Patrick Everson from VegasInsider.com. When we return, game time. Where's Mincy? Live at lunch, live at Dozy Place on Government Street in the heart of Mid-City on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Congratulations are in order for one of my favorite places to eat, Snow Seafood and Steaks, celebrating its 50th anniversary. That's right, since 1971, Snow's has been serving a wide assortment of menu items to please everyone. Steaks, seafood, gumbo, homemade soup, salad, specialty cocktails, great wine selection, and oh yes, the best white chocolate bread pudding that you'll find anywhere. It's the total dining experience. Happy 50th anniversary to my friends at Snow Seafood and Steak, Airline Highway to Highway 74 in Gonzales.
When we started GMFS Mortgage here in Baton Rouge 26 years ago, do you know where we wanted our headquarters to be? Here's a hint. We've never moved. That's right. We started in Baton Rouge. Our loans are originated, processed, and underwritten in Baton Rouge. Every step of the mortgage process happens here in Baton Rouge. So when you're ready to buy, build, renovate, or refinance, please check out GMFSmortgage.com and choose GMFS Mortgage of Baton Rouge. We are your local lender.
NMLS number 64997 is an equal housing lender. Mortgages originated at 7389 Florida Boulevard, Suite 200A, Baton Rouge, Louisiana 70806.
When your transformer is down, it's not just an inconvenience. It's a cost to your business. At Bayou Transformers, we understand the urgency and we are ready to assist. Whether it's maintenance, reconditioning, or even a full replacement, we'll get you back to full power swiftly and efficiently. With a 5-year warranty on all our rebuilt transformers and a rapid turnaround time, we are your solution for all your transformer needs. Visit BayouTransformers.com. That's BayouTransformers.com.
Darren James and Associates, powered by LPT Realty, commit to excellent service unlike any other. Darren and his team save buyers as much money as possible. If you're ready to buy or sell your home, call Darren James or visit agent225.com.
With all of the financial headlines, are you worried if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. If you have more questions and answers about what's next, let's work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by your local Edward Jones advisor. Tex Morris on Jefferson. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Power outages are unpredictable, so stay ready with a Generac home standby generator from Boudreaux's Electrical Services. Trusted in South Louisiana, we provide expert installation and service. Call 225-300-9389 or visit BoudreauxElectrical.com.
The Grand Bayou Casino, conveniently located off I-10 at exit 139 in Gros Tête, offers the latest video poker machines 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And a great staff at the Grand Bayou Casino. Our inviting staff will greet you with complimentary coffee and sodas as you enjoy listening to the curated tunes in our comfortable seating. Make the trip to the Grand Bayou Casino, where players are welcome. The Grand Bayou Casino, I-10 at the Gros Tête exit. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-877-770-STOP. The Grand Bayou Casino.
Looking for the perfect van to take your business or adventure to the next level? Meet the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter at Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge. With class-leading versatility, advanced safety features, and legendary reliability, the Sprinter is built to work hard and keep you moving. Need cargo space? It's got it. Need passenger capacity? It's got that too. And with incredible fuel efficiency and Mercedes-Benz luxury, it's more than just a van. It's your ultimate partner on the road. Come see why businesses and adventurers alike trust the Sprinter. Visit Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge on Airline Highway in Baton Rouge or check us out online at mbobr.com today.
Jake and T-Bob here, and when it comes to roof replacements and repairs, there's a #1 top-rated roofer you need to know, Pelican Roofing.
Pelican Roofing has literally hundreds of 5-star reviews and was a recipient of the 2019 Better Business Bureau Integrity Award. Hey, we know there are a lot of roofing companies, but there's only one, Pelican Roofing.
And Baton Rouge and Lafayette and all the surrounding areas, they even offer 0% financing for those who qualify. Call for your free estimate at 225-228-2865 or visit PelicanRoof.com.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Doe's Eat Place on Government Street on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Let's got to Las Vegas. My buddy Patrick Everson from VegasInsider.com, who's kind of taking a little time off, but trying to get back in the swing of things after the Super Bowl, taking some time with Charlie out at Mardi Gras today. Patrick, how you doing? Happy Mardi Gras, sir.
Thank you very much. A little Fat Tuesday ahead of Ash Wednesday. It's great to be back on with you.
Hey, Patrick, let's start with last night because we saw it. This is kind of, it's almost like a little bit of a Paul Skeens versus help me out, the outfielder for the Padres last year, the rookie of the year.
Jackson Merrill.
Yeah, Jackson Merrill. I mean, it really fluctuated back and forth, and we're seeing this back and forth with this college basketball national player of the year market right now. Cooper Flagg has increased his lead now to minus $1.80 after Duke's big win last night. Of course, he played well. But Janai Broome, I mean, there's no comparison to as far as the pro prospects of these two players. But there is some comparison to the numbers, and there's no comparison to the quad one competition as well. Auburn is 16-3. I'm sorry, 16-2. Duke only 6-3 this year against quad competition. What's and this has been going on for a while, for a little bit. Get us the latest on this Cooper Flagg versus Janai Broome National Player of the Year market.
Right. So again, thanks for having me on. And Henry, it's nice to make your acquaintance here on the show.
You as well.
So I was checking in on this with BetMGM a little bit earlier today. One thing I thought was interesting, and you perhaps have already addressed this, but Cooper Flagg, and I know this is the case at BetMGM. I would guess there are similar policies with some of the more national books elsewhere, but he wasn't even on the board at the beginning of the season because he was only 17 years old. So they didn't put him on the board until December when he turned 18.
Is that right?
So I think that's one kind of interesting element. But now, he's the favorite to win it. And, you mentioned Janai Broome, obviously, right there as well. It's really a two-man race there between those two. And I'm going to the odds table here to look at just kind of how the movement has been. And Janai Broome was one of the, maybe even been the favorite preseason. He was right there. He was the favorite. I'm looking at last week instead of preseason. Preseason, he was 35-1.
Cool.
So if you got in early on Janai, good on you. But I'm telling you, once you could bet Flagg, they have been betting Flagg like this decision's already been made. At BetMGM, at least, he's got, in terms of ticket count, he's taken, it's about 1.5 to 1, a little over 1.5 to 1, more tickets on Flagg than on Broome. But in terms of money, it is just a landslide. At BetMGM, 75% of all dollars on the Wooden Award are on Flagg. Only 10% of money is on Janai Broome. So, and then it just drops off precipitously more so from there. Braden Smith, Mark Steers, some others. But a lot of these guys are off the board now too. So it's really a two-person race, and it looks like it. I mean, if the bettors are right, the bettors are all over Flagg, and obviously both players are fantastic, have a great season. But and it's reasonably close in the odds between those two right now, so it could be a coin flip. But the bettors are, at least in terms of money, especially, are all over Flagg, like our good friend Dave Sheriff says, like the game has already been played, like the vote has already been taken, that sort of thing.
Well, remember, Flagg guys splashed last summer before his freshman year at Duke when he more than competed against Team USA on that practice squad. You got guys like LeBron James and pros in the NBA saying, this kid's a problem right now. He was the best player on that practice team and more than got his against the best in the world. So in terms, he's already kind of like a public player in the betting markets. Janai Broome, if you go outside of hardcore SEC fans and or you guys, he's not known. So the money obviously is gonna run to Flagg, right?
Janai Broome did take over as the favorite about a week or so ago, and now Flagg is back up with it. And it's funny with that much. I'm wondering though, but listen, this is an award. This is not a competition. This is not who's going to be drafted first. It's not that. It is getting in the heads of the voters as well. And let's face it, I mean, Auburn is the team of the year. It is not even close. With that league being as tough as it is, and they're 15-1, for them being 16-2 in against quad one competition, and Duke only 6-3, and Duke can't control how weak the ACC is this year. I mean, the SEC just beat them 14-2 in the SEC ACC Challenge, back in December. So, I mean, with all of that, normally, Patrick, when you have that much lopsided, action on one guy like Flagg, that should be a much bigger number. Minus like 450, minus 520, or something like that. How close it is still, man, kind of gives me a little bit of a signal that Broome might be the value here.
Oh, I think you're right on that, and obviously kudos to those who got on Broome. When these numbers opened, or preseason, or early in the season, and we're able to get like maybe a 35-1 at the very beginning. And to your point, Auburn, if I'm not mistaken, you guys are an SEC country, so, and I'm just starting to work on all my March Madness conference tournament, March Madness content right now. But Auburn's already got the SEC regular season title wrapped up, right?
Yes, they're not sharing with anybody.
That speaks volumes right there. With how, as you pointed out, with how good, Jimmy, as you pointed out, with how good the SEC is this year, that Auburn has already got the regular season title wrapped up before the final weekend of the regular season. I think most teams have 1 or 2 games left, right?
That's correct.
So
they have two games left. Yeah,
that speaks volumes to that team, and obviously to Janai Broome, and as a result, I'm not going to be surprised at all to see him win it. And it is just kind of crazy how lopsided this is when the odds are as close as they are. How, despite the somewhat lopsided tickets, really lopsided money. And again, this is just a BetMGM, but I'm guessing some of the other major books, the DraftKings and Caesars and FanDuels of the world, are probably seeing something similar. It's really interesting, and Auburn, with what they've done this season, and now being the favorite ahead of Duke, at least that was a look at BetMGM odds. I know this varies a little bit from place to place, but favorite, co-favorite, right there to win the national championship. That speaks volumes, and again, in an SEC that's been very tough this year.
Historically good. I mean, not that the RPI is anything, and the RPI is flawed enough to where it has been replaced by the selection committee, by the net. It's more of an updated, metric. But we can go over it, and it's the highest conference RPI in the history of the sport. So we do have that too. I mean, just knowing you're going to go 12, 13 deep, when your conference is 16 teams to get in the tournament. So it's and when it happens, when you have a special year like this, I mean, you kind of sweep the awards. They don't put up the awards for Coach of the Year like they do in the pros, but I was, it's going to be hard for Bruce Pearl not to get it. And there've been some really good, coaching, to turn around at Louisville, the turnaround in Missouri, just some of them. But there's been a lot of interesting, a lot of great coaching jobs, but none better maybe than Pearl's this year. Speaking of, you talked to some of the sportsbook managers. Where's their biggest liability as far as winning the whole thing on the floor? In San Antonio, winning the national championship in college basketball. I guess it starts with Duke and Auburn, huh?
It certainly does. I mean, with those two teams being at the top of the board. And again, this is awesome information this week from BetMGM, from their great data analysts. I should give them both credit, Drew Odell and John Ewing. They keep updated on these numbers all season long, between the odds and the ticket counts and where the money's coming in and where the liability is. Again, to your point, Auburn and Duke, very popular. Those two teams in digital betting. This doesn't include retail, but I assume it's going to be pretty similar in retail. Duke and Auburn have taken the most tickets. Duke 1, Auburn 2 at BetMGM. Duke's taken the most money. Houston number 2 in money, just slightly ahead of Auburn. And the biggest liabilities at the moment, again, this is in digital, and there can be some difference. When you start adding in retail, digital is where the overwhelming amount of tickets and money are. Jimmy, you and Henry, I'm sure know that.
Yeah.
You try bet from the palm of your hand as much as you can, and that's what everybody does. But there is, especially when factor in here in Las Vegas, and a little bit less so, but similarly in New Jersey and some other states. Retail handle in person at the counter, on the kiosk, that sort of thing, it does tend to add up. But at least digitally, which is the overwhelming majority of handle, the biggest liability at BetMGM right now is Duke, followed by Michigan State, and then UConn, which obviously hasn't had the kind of season that people expected after winning back-to-back national championships. But they did take a lot of money early on. I think the liability is mostly from early on, or maybe people swooping in now, liking that they can get, a significantly better number than they could have got almost a year ago when UConn won the title for a second straight time. But again, I'm not sure that team's national title worthy. You might be getting a better number, but you might also be chasing your tail here unless you think this team's really going to shore up for March Madness.
So I've got an MLB futures question, and I have to ask this because Jimmy only lets me do the show twice a year, so I have to make full advantage of my time. And you're an expert. Sure. So, and truth be told, I'm a massive Dodger homer. I've got my Kirk Gibson pajamas hanging in my closet. The Dodgers as the World Series, their number. Have you seen this high? It seems like this is a runaway. The money's not good, obviously, on the Dodgers winning the World Series. In your time doing this, has this been the biggest favorite you've seen in the
preseason?
In preseason, I would say probably. I couldn't say that with 100% certainty. I'm going back to see if I've gotten emails on that real quick here, Henry. Just scrolling through.
Yeah, and I hate to hit you out of the
blue.
blue.
Attention the last couple of weeks, but yeah, it's. Look, they keep adding arms. They've got great players, a really good team. It's kind of hard to compete with that, but at the same time, when you see that, there's a chance that there's not a chance. There's potential for value down the board, and it may not even have to go very far down the board when you've got a team. I mean, literally. Plus 240 to win is such a short number. That's the number I'm seeing. I'm not sure what you guys are looking at. If you're looking at Caesars or DraftKings or what have you, I'm looking at BetMGM right now. Plus 240, and then you go down all the way to plus 800 for second choice. I can't recall a time where I've seen a gap like that preseason. I mean, I think last year, Jimmy, maybe you could help me recall, but I think the Dodgers were somewhere in the 350 to 400 range. They were favorites last year too.
Pre-injury, the Braves.
There was the Braves at 5-1 or something like that. It was close. You did not go from plus 240 to plus, from basically 2.5 to 1 to 8 to 1 from team 1 to team 2. It'll be interesting to see how it unfolds, and it's always good to keep in mind in baseball. And that's why I think you may have some value in some of these other teams if you do some shopping. I mean, if one arm gets hurt for the Dodgers, or a key everyday player.
Well,
nobody's rooting for that.
Well, five arms got hurt last year, and they still won it. So, Patrick, I mean,
that's a fair point because they got so much talent. They got so much talent behind them, which would certainly help. But you may have some value here. But to address your, the initial question, Henry, that's a plus 240 to plus 800. I've not seen a gap like that. No,
Patrick, about 30 seconds. About 30 seconds before we got to go to break. But the Lakers still getting now with having a little success with Luka, since he's come over. So it's just been a series of things that have happened to kind of increase an already public team, to win it.
Yes, and Hal Eglin, he is a trader with BetMGM. He just got back to me in the last hour, Jimmy. So the Lakers are a worst result for the championship and the Western Conference. So the Pistons are actually their second worst result with their hot stretch, and BetMGM having a really strong Michigan customer base in the same way a lot of these books have a strong customer base down in Louisiana with you guys. And he said the Warriors are not too far behind in third, though, but the Lakers are the worst results at the moment, and they are climbing the odds board. So look out. I guess we'll see.
Follow Patrick on Twitter again at Patrick at Patrick E_Vegas, the best in the business, hardest working man in sports betting. There's no doubt about it. Hope to see you soon, Patrick. Good luck, man, covering March Madness. I'm sure we'll check in to get some of your reports during the tournament.
Absolutely. Thank you both for having me. Have a great rest of the week.
All right. Don't forget our friends at Total Maintenance. Total Maintenance, one of South Louisiana's oldest and largest air conditioner and heating companies since 1980. That's right. Mention Live at lunch, Jimmy Ott, Charles Hannegriff, Henry Hayes mentioned and get half off diagnostics, including after hours, holidays, and weekends. But now also, you think that before we really start stressing those AC units, you get $100 off that AC check. Going to lower your monthly bills, extend the life of your unit, and probably prevent you from more costly repairs, more costly, less convenient repairs as well. Now's the time to do it before we really start stressing these units. It's $79, normally just $179. So save $100 on that one-time AC check. Call Total Maintenance today, 480-1000. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance. Wrapping it up live at lunch after this from Dozy Place at 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
This is Charles Hannegriff for Coastal Capital Advisors. When it comes to retirement, no two situations are alike.
So we did better and better, you know, we did what we did with Mardi Gras. So good school. Yeah, it was amazing. I know. So good thing is he was up. Yeah, man, definitely. He's doing fine.
Promo.
Nice to meet you too. What's that? It's moving down. It seems like it. It's down to 4.5. Hey, you ready?
Yep. It's rolling.
Join me, Jimmy and Charles Hannegriff, for the Wednesday edition of Live at Lunch, live at Modesto on Burbank. Live at Lunch from Modesto, Wednesday edition, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and Senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED in my 12 years of practice. But now you can get world-class care for ED 100% online by going to HIMSS.com. So what are you waiting for?
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to HIMSS.com/joy.
No two people learn the exact same way. So how did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you, all of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Keith is a be in the room with real people kind of learner. So he loves the live online classes with our language experts.
Okay, class. Vos está pronto.
Estamos prontos.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Baseball and softball players of all levels get the competitive edge you've been looking for at Total Diamond Performance. Do the same lessons, camps, classes, and clinics used by top college and MLB organizations. Everything from mental performance, in-game video, and data analysis to improve pitching, throwing velocity, bat speed, and fielding. Total Diamond Performance is tailored around the individual player to build strength and athleticism while also cleaning up mechanical deficiencies. Matt Mastretta applies what he's learned working in player development with college and MLB teams. Total Diamond Performance, 931-3730. That's 931-3730.
Do you feel like you get hurt at the most inconvenient times? Brock's After Hours Clinic has you covered for a break, sprain, or strain. Open 7 days a week, nights and weekends. Walk-ins welcome. Learn more, brortho.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Do business with someone you know. Parish Construction and Roofing.
Periscope.com.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Doe's Eat Place on Government Street on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Final thoughts, Henry, before we close things out?
It's about to be a fun time in sports. Get
Yeah.
LSU baseball rolling, about to hit March Madness. Some of the golf's going to start to pick up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And the Dodgers still play baseball. By the way, the what I didn't cover with Patrick, Jimmy, the cover charge on Sunset Boulevard, Manhattan Beach in Malibu, not Luca, tripled. Bottles of Veuve Clicquot tripled.
Oh, yeah.
He likes the nightlife.
Who's that?
Luca.
Oh, yeah.
Luca likes to go out after the games.
I got you. Duke or Auburn versus the field is plus 135. SEC is minus 133 versus the field. Max sent me that. Hey, don't forget me and Paul Stone 5-1 last Saturday. Our podcast
10.
for Tuesday and Wednesday nights games dropping any second now. Tomorrow at Modesto for Jordan back in the studio here from Doe's Eat Place. Live at lunch, live from Doe's 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
This is Charles Haniger for Total Maintenance. Now is the time to get your AC cleaned and checked before those sweltering temperatures arrive. Ensure your unit is performing at max efficiency, lower your monthly bills, and prolong the life of your central air conditioner. Right now, mention my name or Jimmy Ott and get $100 off that service. Down from $179 to $79. Call Total Maintenance for generators, electricity, and plumbing issues. In Baton Rouge, 480-1000, and in New Orleans, call 841-3300. Service today, every day at Total Maintenance.
Louisiana's big weather can mean big damage to your roof. Our team offers free inspections and guarantees your satisfaction. Call 756-8603 or visit riceandroofing.com.
Just to be on the safe side.
Craving crawfish? Head on over to Chris's Specialty Foods on Highland. Every Friday night, enjoy Chris's mouth-watering boiled crawfish. Dine in or take out. Fresh, spicy, and delicious.